Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about My Little Pony having a live action movie announcement, the latest in a long line of live action cartoon adaptations. We're also getting Masters of the Universe coming soon. I'm probably gonna wait to talk about that until we get an actual trailer or something, but that has also been announced. But obviously Mattel has a lot of plans to make live action versions of their properties, and now it looks like Hasbro is trying to get in on that. I think especially with the success of the live-action Barbie movie, companies have been kind of jumping on that. But I wonder if it's going to be an adaptation of a previous iteration of My Little Pony, or if they're just going to do their own thing. Like, Generation 4 was hugely popular and probably the most successful version of My Little Pony, so maybe Hasbro might consider adapting that specific iteration, or maybe they'll just have an original story. But I guess we can get into the article and find out. But the article starts with, My Little Pony is getting ready to gallop onto the big screen in a live-action feature from Amazon MGM Studios and Hasbro Entertainment, Variety has confirmed. Based on the popular toys that date back to 1982, the ponies have cantered into numerous animated series and feature films since the 1980s. I believe there were only 2 feature films, at least in theaters, and then Series 5 also had a film, but I don't think it was a lot. Maybe you could count like specials and direct-to-DVD stuff, or like Equestria Girls, but moving on. The most recent feature-length outing was My Little Pony: A New Generation in 2021, which became popular on Netflix after its theatrical release from Paramount was canceled due to COVID. So yeah, like I was saying, that was the Generation 5 movie, which was actually supposed to premiere in theaters, but it got stuck on streaming because of COVID. But the article goes on to say, this will be the first live-action project for the 43-year-old property, which has captivated several generations with its rainbow-hued animals with colorful neon manes and tails. The project is still in development with no creative team in place yet, so I guess it's only been announced, but they haven't really started any kind of production yet. While the toys originally appealed mostly to girls, the 2010 series My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic lured a new type of fans, teenage and adult men who dubbed themselves bronies, and used their fandom to challenge conventional gender stereotypes. So like I was saying, Generation 4, which was Friendship is Magic, was easily the most popular series of My Little Pony, to the point where it broke out of its original target demographic of little girls and became popular with adult men. And it was a really good show. I think it did break a lot of barriers, but I don't think Generation 5 was as popular. So it'll be interesting to see what direction they go for this new movie. Are they going to try to appeal to children mostly again, or are they going to throw in like references for older people too? Are they going to try to appeal to children specifically, or are they going to try to do a more all ages kind of film? You know, more family film. But I do think that such a project does have potential and a lot of options available to them. But moving on, My Little Pony toys have been sold in more than 1,000 varieties, according to Hasbro. My Little Pony was recently inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame. Recently? I'm surprised it wasn't there earlier. I mean, it has been like 40 plus years, but I digress. Hasbro's strategy to produce film and TV series based on its familiar brands include reimagining Clue on film and television with Sony's TriStar and Sony Pictures Television. The live-action Dungeons & Dragons series Forgotten Realm is in development at Netflix. The animated Magic the Gathering series in production at Netflix. The live-action film and television Magic the Gathering universe with Legendary Entertainment, and game shows based on Trivial Pursuit and Scrabble, which premiered on the CW. So it is interesting that they're also going back to like board games and stuff, because I remember there was an attempt to have a cinematic universe for board games. Like there was Battleship, which I believe had Rihanna in it, and also actual like Navy SEALs and soldiers. And there was also a horror movie of Ouija, but that cinematic universe never managed to take root and ended up falling apart. But I think actual game shows based on those games would make a lot more sense than trying to do a narrative-driven movie. So that's basically all the information we have right now. But I'm definitely curious about all of this. I think Clue would be pretty cool and exciting. They did have a live-action Dungeons & Dragons movie not too long ago, and if I remember correctly, it didn't do too well at the box office, but people liked it, if I remember correctly. But obviously there's a lot that you can do with these properties, and I do hope that we get some really fun and cool movies, and also shows. But back to My Little Pony, I'm definitely curious about it. I wonder if they're going to have a CGI cartoony look to them, or if they're going to try to make them more realistic. Are there going to be human characters? Are there not going to be human characters? characters? Are the ponies going to be really colorful and have cutie marks? I'm assuming they would, or at least they better, because that's kind of what they're known for. I don't know, I think there's just multiple ways that this could go. Is it gonna be one of those movies where the cartoon characters go to the real world? Admittedly, I'm not a big fan of those kinds of movies, but like in the original My Little Pony iteration, they had human characters, like Megan and her brother go to the My Little Pony world. So basically it was an isekai. So I guess technically there is room in the franchise for a reverse isekai, but given how popular the Minecraft movie ended up being, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to recreate that somehow, just for Hasbro in this case. But that might be an interesting throwback to the original My Little Pony. What are the chances like Weird Al or Jack Black would show up in it? Weird Al did appear in Friendship is Magic, and he shipped himself with one of the main characters. So as far as celebrity guests go, that would make a lot of sense to bring him back, but they'll also probably have one of the characters be voiced by Aquafina or something. The fifth generation had an all-star cast like Vanessa Hudgens and James Marsden, so I do wonder who they're going to get to voice these characters. What would your fan casting be for like Friendship is Magic and stuff? Personally, I do prefer to have actual voice actors than big celebrities, like the Mario movie for example, having like Chris Pratt and Charlie Day as Mario and Luigi. Admittedly, I thought they did pretty good for what they were, but you know, it still would have been cool to have actual voice actors. But I think Chris Pratt doing a Brooklyn accent helped. I don't know, let me know who you would like to see and what your predictions are for who they're going to get for the movie. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely hoping for the best, or at least decent. But what do you guys think of a live action My Little Pony? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our members: Tyrant Carnivore, Shiny Orc Boy, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Verdant Range, JVR, Equestron, Norman Sweet Cream, Way Beyond Coincidence, Hunter Rose, 80s Nostalgia Guy, Felix Bam, Lucas Geist, J Draws, Meowsers, Sky, Philip, Isaac Martinez, Garcia XV Legend, Tobias Weller, Bandito Bane, Mac B909, Dakari the Professor, Todd McCaffrey, Omni Fair, Cavalcoj, Strider Exile, Phil C, Killer Bomb, Slawa Saporiguez, Entwined Boot 301, Griffin of Might, Frankie Camarillo, Datadyne Executive, Crimson Phantom, Jin the Goblin, Papa Hud 69, The Gengar King, Daunter, G-Rock, and Chaos Jumper. Thank you for the support, and if you want to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have Buy Me Coffee if you want to support us that way. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and that part's free. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.